Hello everyone, this is Chetna here, and today is my 19th day of protest at KPCC Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee office here in Bangalore. How am I feeling on the 19th day here? And to all those people who want to know how I feel, trying to do so many tactics of trying to make me wear down and all, let me tell you, I'm absolutely fine. I'm still sitting with the same kind of passion in my heart that I need justice. I'm not going to move out of this place. And for those people who say you're sitting alone, you're sitting alone, you're sitting alone, does not matter. It does not matter. If you're alone with a fighting spirit is much better than hundreds getting together who absolutely have no courage, the moral courage to stand up for your rights. If you don't want to stand up, my brothers and sisters, does not matter. I just hope you do, because that will strengthen our community, it will strengthen our country, it will strengthen us. But if you're not going to do that, I will not wait until you people are prepared. It's been already 5,000 years that you're not getting together, you're not uniting, you're not fighting back with the system. So I will not let again another 5,000 years go by. I have my children, they're already being persecuted. Then I'll wait for my grandchildren, their children, all the descendants, all my descendants to go through the same thing. No, I will not do that. It is, as a mother, I know how tough it is to, see your child go through so much of persecution. The kind of harassment they've done to my child, no child should go through that. My children have gone through that. But I'm not going to, what has happened so far. From now onwards, I will not let this pass down to any other generation from my family. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to fight, I'm going to take the justice. And, there are other people who are saying, how many days you're going to sit, as if you will get justice sitting here in front of a Congress office. For them, I want to tell, that is okay. Because you need to have the fighting spirit. It is not like, one moment you have the fighting spirit, full josh, and then it will cool down. That won't work, because I've been coming here since 10 years now, close to 10 years. I know, I've seen all kind of bureaucrats, police, courts, lawyers, judges, politicians. I've seen every one of them. I've observed them, I've read them, I've understood them very well. I know how they do it. First all these people who wants to fight with me, a Dalit woman, if we are united, they can't fight. So they isolated us. After isolating each one of us, they're attacking us. So I know after, once they isolate you, the next strategy is to weaken your mind. So get this right into your mind. This mind won't get weakened, because this is not only mine. I have my God with me. My God whom I follow, the Jesus Christ, is a much stronger, powerful God, which you never experienced. Unfortunately, sticking to your old prejudice and following all the customs and traditions, you've lost the track of the God only. What God is truth, God is love. You've lost sight of what God is. You're going into all different tracks. So let me tell you, I'm following a God of truth, love, righteousness, justice. So I know He is with me. It is okay if I don't have 10,000 or people behind me, standing behind me. One God is more than enough. Me and my God are more than enough to beat you all up. And I am going to win this. I'm going to win. This I'm telling in the name of Jesus Christ. I am going to win. Victory always comes in the name of Jesus Christ, and this victory is not going to stop here. It's going to spread like wildfire in India. I'm sure we will all get freedom this time. What is this experience sitting here for 5 hours every day teaching me? Patience, tolerance, perseverance, and endurance. Why should I believe in a religion that does not take care of all the people which comes under it? When it comes to social conditions, If a religion is not bothered of the social condition of its people, does not treat people equally in a society, then why should I believe in it? A religion which does not care for the economic conditions of the people, which does not try to uplift the people who are poor, downtrodden and oppressed, why should I believe in a religion like that? There is where the contrary is when it comes to following Jesus. I'm not a Christian, but I'm a follower of Christ. So what I really loved about Jesus Christ is he believes in socio-economic conditions of people. He says all people are born in the image of God. Everybody are equal, and there is no partiality between a Dalit and a Brahmin. Everybody are equal. There's no partiality among them. So, and also it cares for the economic conditions of the people. See, when it comes to Christians, they are supposed to actually give 10% of whatever they earn. How much ever they earn, out of that they are supposed to give 10% for the poor people and the people who are in need. So this way, that religion takes care of the people who are below the poverty line also. There is a better distribution of wealth in that religion. And so according to Bible, you are a steward of the money. You are not the owner of the money, you are the steward. So whatever excess amount that is there in your account, which is after using all the money that you require for the the daily requirements or monthly requirements, whatever the excess is which is there in your account does not actually belong to you. It belongs to God. And when he says you to give the poor who's in need, then you have to give it to them. And in Bible, it also says when the world ends, Jesus is going to come and he's going to segregate all the people as two sets. One will be the ones he calls them sheep and sends them to heaven. And he says, when I asked you for food, you gave me food. When I asked you for water, you gave me water. When I did not have clothes, you clothed me. And when I did not have the roof over my head, you gave me your house. You shared your roof with me. This is what he's going to say. And then these people said, when did you come and when did I give you all these? He says, no, when you did the least of these people, that is, when you did for the poor and downtrodden, that means to say you've done it for me. So that is what we, all the poor people, downtrodden, oppressed people are for Jesus. So if somebody helps us, helps the Dalits and the poor people and oppressed ones, that means to say you're doing it for the God. So the other set of people, he says, you did not do any of this for me, so I'm going to put you into hell. So this is where I want to say where the economic conditions of the people is uplifted in this religion. There is a the people who have things are to share their things with the people who do not have. Though I do not want to convert right away to Christianity because they too have casteism in it. I am not interested as of now until the casteism goes or new congregation for Dalit Christians is opened up. I am not ready to convert into Christianity, but I love following Christ. I am an ardent follower of Christ. This kind of Christians are also called non-baptized Christians. I am a non-baptized Christian. So I'm in a transition from moving to one religion to another, but I have certain conditions. If it is met, I will surely go into that religion. Where equality is there, peace is there, love is there, joy is there, hope. After all, every one of us can hope in that religion. Here the doors for hope is fully closed in this religion where I come from. So unfortunate, for us Dalits we see only darkness and darkness and darkness, this poverty, the people oppressing us all the time. There are so many of the Dalits, who can't think beyond the, next food that has to be coming in their plates. More than that, they really cannot think about anything else. No, when it comes to Jesus, he always tells you to think big, dream big, live big, So when it comes to Christianity or when it's following Christ, he says he will give you all his followers, true followers will have more than enough in their houses. So this is a religion this is the God which I really love to follow, and I will tell all the Dalits, kindly follow this God. He's fantastic. You will feel lot of hope, motivation, happiness, confidence. You just have to try. here comes the end of my 19th-day protest here. And for the people who are expecting me, where my head is bowed down and my eyes droops and my shoulders also droops, and then I'm going to be sad, I'm going to be tired, I'm not going to return. I mean, I really want to disappoint you, because in that way I will not be there. I will come here every day with the same confidence, with the same joy in my heart. I'm not going to lose the joy. Though so many difficulties are there, harassments are there, every day in, day out I have to go through that. But I will not allow you to take away anything that is, the positive in me. I'm still going to stay positive. I'm still going to come here. I'm still going to ask for my rights. Tomorrow is Sunday, I'm not coming. On Monday, I'm going to come back. I'm going to sit in the same place. I'm going to ask for my rights, and I'm going to take my right. It is my right. It just don't give a manifesto into our hands. Give the right also in my hand. Justice is my right, and you have to deliver it. Your ministers are in control of that. If they want, they can do the whole work in 1 week. Kindly get it done. I'm sitting here. I'm not going to move until I get the justice. Not that I want assurance from you. Take me to the office and say you make 2-3 calls until it's done. No, until you give the result. Show me the criminals that are caught in our case. We want all the criminals to get caught when we just filed the case August 13th. So kindly investigate it properly. Because right now the people are not doing the investigation properly. We want the investigation to be done properly and give us all the criminals who are involved in it, so that I and my family can live freely in this country.